Hello and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And today let's see what's on the hook. This is not my regular Monday video. This is going to have several giveaways, and the winner for these giveaways will be selected next Friday or Thursday whenever I do my late in the week video, which I'm going to start trying to do. So I just have too much to talk about for one video. My last one this Monday was 45 minutes, and I did have lots and lots of views and new subscribers, but it is very hard for me to upload that from my phone to my computer and up to YouTube and all that. And I was a little bit nervous that I wasn't even going to be able to load it. So YouTube took a long time for it to upload, and I got a little bit nervous, and 45 minutes is a long time to commit to watching a video. And I know some of you probably watch it a few minutes at a time, which is what I do. Sometimes I'll go back to a video and finish watching. So that's fine too, but I have so much to talk about that I will want to probably split these up into 2 per week, for a while anyway, till I run out of things to talk about, which I don't really expect, but you never know. You never know. This week I have been working on several sweaters, and I will talk about those on Monday. The progress that I've made on those, I'll talk about that on Monday. But today I want to talk about several things. A sweater, first of all, that has some mistakes, and I want to show them to you. I'm not afraid to wear my sweaters with mistakes because nobody ever notices them except for me. And another crocheter, I'm sure, would never point this out, but I do have several things on this particular sweater I want to show you, and maybe it can help you in the future when you maybe tackle a sweater or make one of my sweaters for that matter. So I also want to do a Knitcrate unboxing, and we're going to look through some magazines. We're going to do some different things today. So welcome you everyone here. I hope you'll subscribe and like this particular video, and I welcome you to come back on Monday when we do our regular Monday video and we talk about crochet. Mostly, sometimes we throw a little cross stitch in there. You never know, but I haven't started knitting yet. I know I have a project that I've got it all ready to go, but I haven't had a chance to knit. And I have so many things I want to do for crochet. I don't know when it'll be. Hopefully it'll be soon. So I would like to learn how to do some knitting, because I will just tell you this right up front. I ordered a book from Marie Wallen. If you are a knitter at all, you will know her name. And she also does crochet patterns. She develops crochet patterns. She's done a lot of work for big yarn companies, and she's now out on her own, and she has some beautiful, beautiful books for knitting. And I ran across one that said winter crochet. So I popped onto her website and ordered the book. I love crochet books. As you know, I love crochet books. And she has some beautiful, beautiful crochet patterns in this book, and I can't wait to show them to you. I know you'll enjoy looking through this book with me. But one of them is a special, beautiful sweater that I would love to make. But when I was reading about it, after I actually ordered the book, and then I was reading about some of the patterns, which I probably should have done before I ordered the book, but I was so excited, I went ahead and ordered it, paid for it, and it's on its way. The one sweater that I was just determined to make, that I really wanted to make, was done in motifs. And some people call those granny squares, but these are not really granny squares. But they are square motifs. And she's designed a sweater around these beautiful motifs, mostly in the front and along the bottom and the back. I think maybe even along the sleeves, I'm not sure. But what she's done is combined crochet and knitting, and I was a little worried about that, and I am worried about that because the whole back of the sweater is knitted, and the sleeves are knitted down to, I believe, the cuff area. Then she has some crochet there. The edging is crochet, and I couldn't believe that. I thought I could whip through this sweater and make it, and I just assumed that the sweater was crocheted. So I'll either have to learn to knit really quickly, or I will crochet the sweater in the places where she is knitting. I can do that. I don't have a problem with that. But it's done mostly in motifs, and I was just really excited to get started on it. And I wanted to use the same yarn that she did in the same colors because I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. So that's one thing I want to talk about in the future. As soon as my book gets here, we'll take a look at it, and I'll show you this sweater that I'm referring to. It's a beautiful, beautiful sweater. Now, what I'm wearing today, I'm wearing a new sweater. This is a crocheted sweater that I crocheted from the top down. This is my first ever attempt to do a top-down sweater and try to keep track of how I did it so that I could translate it to a pattern and make it very, very easy to do. And I did that pretty much. I haven't perfected it yet, and I still have two sweaters that I'm looking at on my desk that I am making top down, that I'm trying to work out a pattern that will be very, very easy. Now, I know that I don't like stitch counts, and I've had somebody take me to task about that. I don't like stitch counts. I don't mind using stitch counts, and I will use a stitch count if I have to. I'm not going to totally avoid stitch counts, but I don't like for the stitch counts to be in charge of my project. And I like to start out maybe with a stitch count and then let her go. Because if you're decreasing either on a scarf or on a sweater, if you're decreasing or increasing to a certain point, and it's all increases are every 3 inches or one decrease every 4 rows or something like that, I'll do that. But as far as saying you have to have 30 stitches on each side of your sweater front, I might do that, and I'll show you how to make it easy to get about 30 stitches. You know, 1 or 2 stitches is not going to make that much difference. So I don't like to be held hostage by stitch counts, and that's just my philosophy. And if my pattern needs a stitch count, I will put it in there. Not a problem with that. So I'm working on a sweater pattern that might be easier to make than some because you don't have to keep up with the stitch count. You get started with it and then you work your way out. So let me show you this sweater. I have blocked it. It's made from Vita Lana, which is a beautiful, beautiful yarn from Knitcrate that I received in a Knitcrate box, and I ordered a sweater quantity of it, and I still have a whole ball and about a half of what I ordered because the sweater I made was very short. And the reason I did that was I was tired of crocheting on it. I wanted to try a different yarn, and I wanted a crop sweater, so that worked out fine. I didn't put any sleeves in it. I could have easily done that, but I didn't put any sleeves in it, and I bought enough yarn to put the sleeves in. But I decided I didn't want sleeves in this sweater because I'm hopefully going to wear it with a tank top in the summer, and it'll be nice and cool. Now, this Vita Lana is a wool yarn. It's a wool yarn, but it's not scratchy or anything. It's very, very soft and was very easy to crochet. It has great stitch definition as well, and you'll see that when I stand up. I'm going to get up close so you can see. This is the body of the sweater, and I put a short ribbing around the neck. After I crocheted the sweater, I did the ribbing, and then I did the same thing with the sleeves. I put a ribbing around the bottom of the sleeves. Did that after I crocheted the sweater. The sweater has a pretty good size ribbing at the bottom. It is probably maybe 1.5 inches wide, if you can see that right there. It's about 1.5 inches wide. And I cropped it and made it kind of a boxy sweater. I have blocked it, and one of the initial problems I had with it was that the ribbing was curling out heavily, like that. It was just curling out. And I was so disappointed. I thought, well, I hope it doesn't turn out that way. But after I blocked it, it's laying perfectly flat. I mean, I'm really excited about that. I really am. Obviously, I have on a white t-shirt underneath, but I can't wear this without a t-shirt, obviously. But I really like it. It's soft, and it was easy to make. I didn't do anything difficult on this particular sweater. Now, one thing that I did, I was experimenting, and I did a row of herringbone double crochet. Not sure if you can see it. You know, I can't even find it on here. It's up here somewhere. I did a row of herringbone double crochet just to see how it would look. I thought I might change over to that particular stitch. This was an experimental sweater, as you know, as I've already told you. There are a lot of things in here that I would have done differently, but when you're starting out a new design, you have to experiment just a little bit to be sure that you have a good stitch that looks really nice with the yarn. Now, I don't know if you can see it in the back. I'm going to turn around, and the join area where you join the rows together is terribly diagonal. I mean, I did not do a good job with that at all. And I have since perfected that and did some research and found a better way to join the rounds on a sweater. So I did that, but you know, right now this has the diagonal join in the back, and if you can't see that, great. If you can see it, well, that's just a learning experience for me. This is the top-down sweater that I'm working on. I showed this to y'all on Monday, and it has a white. I'm using a white as a contrast around the bottom of the yoke. And then I've gone back to the brown to finish up, and then I will join it and do the body after that. I'm all finished pretty much with the yoke, as you can see, and it's turning out really nice. I like it, but at the middle of the back of the sweater, I have been more successful in making that straight. I don't know if you can see it, but here it is right along there. That is the join, and I think I have the hang of it now, how I want it to look. And this one also has ridges in it using back loop and front loop on either side of the row, and so that kind of gives it a nice ridged look along the top. So that's what I'm working on right there. I'm using Basic Stitch, which I talked about last week. This is Basic Stitch by Lion Brand, and I'm using an eye hook with that. So that's my one experiment. Then I'm using a J hook on another one that has a little bit larger yarn. This is much larger yarn actually, but it's still a number 4 weight, but it's a larger yarn. So I'm using a J hook with this one, and I'm working on that as well. Trying to get a good pattern together so that I can put it out there, and if you want to make a top-down sweater, hopefully I'll have all kinds of different ways that you can make the sweater. I'm back, and I had to go away for a few minutes, and Mr. On the Hook had lunch ready for me. What a nice guy he is. He fixes lunch most days. I'll fix lunch every now and then, but he fixes lunch most days. And he'll wait very patiently for me to finish my videos, but I got started a little bit late today, so I just turned off the camera and went to eat, and I came back. So I'm feeling great now. I had my lunch, and I'm ready to finish my video. So let's continue on. Enough talk about this sweater and that sweater and the other sweater. We're done with those. Now, right now, I wanted to show you what I got from Knitcrate. I have my monthly Knitcrate. This is from December. And the December Knitcrate was sponsored by Christy Glass Knits. And if you haven't seen her, she's got a very popular crochet YouTube channel, and you can visit her out there on Christy Glass Knits. I'm sure she comes right up when you go to YouTube and search. But this is the card that came with the packet, and it is Squad Goals. That's what she named it. And she actually has a video about the Knitcrate unboxing, so you might go there and watch it because she talks about why she named it that and everything. But this is what you get if you have the packet coming like this in a compostable bag. And what happens with that is, though, it's not a box, so things in there get kind of bent up. This was bent, but it doesn't matter. It's not something I want to keep for a long time, but I did go out on the web and I looked up the patterns, and when you have a monthly subscription to Knitcrate, they give you a website that you can go to, and then on the website is the inspiration booklet. Now, I did that, and I'm going to show you right now what it looks like. This is the inspirations booklet that we usually get in the Knitcrate box, but now that we're in the bag, we just get the card and the website. So this is the website. This is what it looks like when you go to the address they give you. And they can be made with the yarn that actually comes in the bag, so you don't have to buy any extra yarn. The sock patterns are the knitted sock pattern, which is called centered, and you can make it either way. You can make it with or without the heel and with or without the toe, which is sort of the yoga form, and then you can also make it with the closed toe and heel, either one. And then the crocheted socks are called the perfect ranks, R-A-N-K-S. Those are almost like a little footy or something, I don't know, but anyway, that is the crocheted sock. And if you're in this, I'll tell you what, if you're in the sock membership crate, these are the two socks that they are furnishing the pattern for. You can't make these with the yarn that came in the membership crate, which is the one that I received. Those are the scarf and the shawl that I showed you first. But if you're in the sock membership crate, then these are the two patterns you can use to make the socks. And then these are bonus patterns, very beautiful. This one is a knit sweater called Lavender Pearls, and then this is called the Nostalgia Vest. It's got the very wide armholes on it, a very short side seam, looks like. So that looks very easy to make. It's got a little bit of a rib around the collar. So those are the patterns that you will receive in your Knitcrate bag for the month, and you just go on the website and you can download the PDFs for free, obviously, but you can print those off if you want to, or just leave them on your phone or your iPad. Also in the Knitcrate bag was for the extra, a project bag that says Yarn Squad on it. Very cute, and they do actually give you a shout out for crochet. There's a knitting needle and a crochet hook, so that's good. I like that. But Christy did a nice job on this. The yarn that's in there, I guess I could have done this first, is the Audine Wool's Twinkle DK, and it's very beautiful. It has quite a bit of stellina in it, actually. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the colorway Squad Goals. This is actually one of the colorways. I didn't get either of the others, but I did get this one, and I'm not sure if I actually wanted this one, but it's okay. It's kind of a coral color. It's an odd color, something that I've never really had any of, so I like it. But in the bag you receive two hanks of whatever color it is. This is a DK. It has 250 yards on the hank, and it's 80% merino wool, 10% cashmere, and 10% stellina. So it is very, very soft. I have to agree. It's very, very nice. What I thought I would do with this is make a scarf and then put a border on it in this color. And I thought those two colors were very pretty together. I had this in my stash. This is also from Knitcrate. It's called URU Yarn, or URU Yarn Sugared Sport. It's basically the same size as this. It's a tiny bit smaller, but I would just put the border on it with this and just work my way across with it. So I don't think the size of the yarn would make that much difference, but this scarf would be out of the pink or coral, and then this would be the color Diamond, which is 70% merino, 20 nylon, 10 stellina, sport weight 300 yards. And the reason I chose this one is because it had the stellina in it, so it would match the scarf. They would both be sparkly. So I have an idea what I want to do with that, so I'll probably ball that up this afternoon and get started on that project. Now for this video, I have gone through my stash, and I have a lot of crochet books. So they're all current. And when I sign up for a subscription, I usually buy two so that I can share one with y'all and use it for a giveaway. So I thought I would go through my stash, and I found 5 magazines that I'm going to give away this week. And again, the winner will be next Friday or Thursday, whenever the video comes out. It won't be Monday's video. That's another video with another giveaway from last Monday, and the winner will be picked this coming Monday. So those gifts are 2 crochet surprise boxes and some bamboo silk yarn by Patton, so in the pink and the gray, if you remember that. I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video, and when you are finished watching this, you can click that and watch it and sign up for that giveaway as well. So I have a giveaway coming up for 5 magazines, and I'm going to quickly go through these. I'm not going to belabor it. I'm just going to go through these and show you the magazine, and I'm going to give you a keyword for each magazine. There'll be 5 different keywords. Now, if I show you a magazine that you're not interested in at all, then don't put the keyword in your comments so that you don't come up when I type in that keyword. But I'm going to do 5 different selections, and so I'll be looking for the keyword for 1 magazine at a time. So you can sign up for all 5, or you can, if you're not interested in 1 or 2 of them, just don't put the word in there. So I'm going to give you the keyword when I talk about the magazine, and if you're watching this, then you'll know what the keyword is. This is for my late week subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that, and sign up for the community too, because hopefully I'll have a free pattern coming out fairly soon, and I have a vest pattern coming out. I plan on doing that on Monday. I hope that I can get that done. I'd like to get that out the door, and then I have another one coming out the following week. I'm trying to catch up because during December I didn't do a whole lot. I did send out a couple of free patterns to the community members. So if you haven't joined the community, it's free. Just go down in the description box and there's a link for you to sign up. Now, magazine number 1 is Crochet World, and this is the February 2021. This is very current. And here is the design directory, they call it in this book. Here are all the different patterns that are in this particular magazine, and I may have already given one of these away earlier in the season, maybe a couple weeks ago. I think I might have done that. I don't know, but there are a lot of neat patterns in here. If you like doilies, there are 2 different doilies in here. There are a couple of wraps. There is a rug here that is really cool. I looked at the instructions today, and you hold 5 size 4 yarn pieces together to make that. I bet it's awesome when you get finished with it. But I won't be making the rug, but it is a nice idea. And then I wanted to show you when I marked off 1 or 2 patterns in these books, and I wanted to show you the nice picture of them, and there is the rug. I wanted to show you that. It's beautiful, and I think it's just done with stash pieces, different colors in your stash, so you can hold any 4 or 5 strands together and make that nice rug. So this is the Crochet World for February 2021, and I'm giving this away, and the keyword this week for this magazine is crochet. If you can spell crochet, then you'll be in the running. C-R-O-C-H-E-T. Be sure to spell it right. The keyword is crochet. So that's magazine number 1. Magazine number 2 is an Interweave crochet magazine. This is for fall of 2020. Now, when I signed up for this subscription, they went back a season and sent me this one. I think I already had this actually in my magazine collection, so I'm just going to give this away. This is for fall of 2020. So it has some amigurumi in here, which is their featured pattern. I'll show you the pattern gallery. There are 3 little animals that you can make with this pattern in here. There's several other things in here. One of the main things I really liked was this right here. And this is a centerpiece made with pine cones and acorns that are crocheted. And it is so gorgeous. I want to show this to you in a larger picture than that. Here it is in the center of the magazine. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at that. Look at the pine cones, all different colors, and they tell you what colors to buy. And then there are also, here's an acorn out front that you can look at. That's a big acorn. I think they're pretty good size. They seem to look that way. There wasn't any way for me to tell if they were as big as your hand or just little tiny things. I don't know. But I thought that was a really nice pattern. This is the Fall 2020 Crochet Interweave magazine. Some very beautiful patterns in here as well. And I wanted to show you this. This was on the back, and sometimes I like advertisements more than the patterns in the book. But this is a Mary Maxim. She bought, or they bought, that company bought the back panel of this magazine. Now I want you to look at this. This is a crocheted Afghan. It's really more of a throw. It's 46 by 46, and it's called the Persian Tiles Throw. And I just think that is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the colors in that. Look at that. All right, and it comes in the pink color, which I think I would prefer. And it also comes in shades of blue. And it also comes in a blue and red, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's a blue and orangey red combination color. Now these are kits that you can buy from Mary Maxim. So I immediately went out onto her website, or onto the website for Mary Maxim, and I priced the kits. And for them to send you all the colors that go in here was $80. All right, no telling how much postage you'd have to pay for that. That's just for the actual kit. But it comes with the pattern, and it comes with all the yarn and all the colors that you need. Well, I found out that the pattern is available from the designer. And the designer, her name is Jane Crowfoot. C-R-O-W-F-O-O-T, Jane Crowfoot. And she recommends Stylecraft Special DK. And she also offers the pattern on her Ravelry page. So I zipped out there, I clicked the link, and I brought up this pattern. It looks just like this. This is what the pattern looks like. The pattern is $7. And you can buy all the yarn you want. You may have enough in your stash for this, but I would like it to look just like this. And I don't have those colors in my stash. I would have to order the colors. And it's 4,000 yards, I believe, to make that. So I don't have 4,000 yards in my stash that would go with that. So I might have to order the kit. But you know, it will probably take me years to make that. But there are only 2 different motifs too. It looks like a whole lot of different ones, but they only give you 2 motifs. And then the balance of that is putting them together. And of course the border looks extremely simple. It looks like a granny stitch and then 2 or 3 rows of single or half double crochet around the whole Afghan, or the whole throw. So it says intermediate is the level crocheter you need to be to get this done. So I'm considering it. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But anyway, if you want this magazine, and that pattern is not in this magazine. This is just an advertisement. But there's some really good patterns in here. If you want this, the keyword is center, C-E-N-T-E-R. So that is the keyword for this particular magazine. Moving on, I have another Interweave crochet magazine. This is for winter of 2021, so it's very current. It's current this month. The keyword for this is bulky, B-U-L-K-Y, and the reason is that it's really focusing on bulky yarn patterns. There's some beautiful patterns in here, and they're made with bulky yarn. There's also a really nice pattern for you crochet sock makers out there. There is the close-up of it, and doesn't look terribly difficult to make, but I wanted to show you the socks up close. The project gallery for this one is here, and there are quite a few patterns that you can make. There are quite a few patterns in this magazine actually that you can make. So I wanted to show those to you just slowly across so that you could see what's in here. There's some pretty sweater patterns, and like I said, there are 4 or 5 patterns done with bulky yarn. So if you're interested in this magazine, the keyword is bulky, B-U-L-K-Y. All right, for our next magazine, I've got this magazine right here. This is the Crochet Magazine Spring of 2021. This is probably the most current. This is coming up in a couple of months. These patterns will be applicable. I think they're a little ahead of themselves with this, but you know, most of the fashion designers do their spring collections early in the winter. So This is one that I've shown before. Remember, this is the top that I thought was really neat. This is a vintage pattern that they've brought back and have made with some current yarn. There's just a lot of nice patterns in this one, and I'm going to let this go. The keyword for this is spring, and because that is a spring magazine, the keyword for this one is spring, S-P-R-I-N-G. And last but not least is the 5th magazine that I'm giving away this week, and this one is called Just Cross Stitch. Now, you've seen me look through some cross stitch, I think one other cross stitch magazine, and these are so cool. I wish I cross stitched more. I just don't. I don't have time to do it, but I'm going to give this away to someone who might be interested in cross stitching. And I wanted to show a couple of patterns to kind of highlight. This is a called Frosted Windows. This is the main pattern right here, and you can take pieces out and crochet like one of these motifs here and frame it if you want to, or do the whole thing. It's really a pretty pattern, and it's a good one to get started on. The chart looks fairly easy. See, there's the chart. It doesn't look terribly hard to do, and it's a beautiful color. It's the color of frost, you know, light blue and white. And then another pattern I wanted to show you. This is absolutely the cutest thing. These are 4 gnomes, and it's called Lovely Gnomes. It has 4 different little gnomes there, and I get it up here close where you can see it, and each one of them has a letter, and it spells out the word love. Isn't that the cutest thing? If you like cross stitch, this is a really neat magazine. There are 23 projects in here, and again, this is for February of 2021. So there you have it. That is the cross stitch magazine I'm giving away. And let me quickly show you the project gallery. This is what is in the book, and I don't know if you can see all those, but there are lots and lots of projects. All the charts are in here, and it's just a whole lot of beautiful patterns in here. So this magazine will go to the person who types in to their comment the word cross stitch. Now, I want you to spell it just like that, C-R-O-S-S-S. There are 3 S's right in the middle. C-R-O-S-S-S-T-I-T-C-H, cross stitch. And there's no space in there, so don't put a space bar space in there. Don't put a space in there. It's all one word, cross stitch. If you're interested in this magazine, please put that in your comment down below. If you don't cross stitch, don't know anybody who cross stitches, and don't care to have it, then don't put that word in your comment, and that way someone else who might really want the cross stitch magazine will win the cross stitch magazine. So there are the 5 magazines that I'm giving away this week. I'm excited. I went through my stash and I just thought, you know what, these aren't doing me any good. I have doubles of most all of them, so I'll just give them away and I'll share them with my subscribers, and we'll have a good time doing it. So the winners for those 5 magazines will be announced next week. So at the end of the week, either Thursday or Friday, I will send out a video, and if you're subscribed and you get a notice that the video has come out, you'll be the first to know who the winners are. Well, I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed the video today. It was a little bit different from my regular Monday videos, but I try to cover mostly crochet, so that's what we'll be talking about, and I'll be back on Monday. And join me then to find out what's on the hook.